Expanding your horizons with talk that matters.
Give me the short version.
News Talk 1470, West Bend's WBKV.
Okay.
Well, I've been teasing you guys about it all morning. I got Devin promoting his new album, Zodiac, so I guess we're going to spend the next 35 or so minutes, chatting with Devin Quello, listening to some of his new tunes. Never before heard, am I right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So we got some exclusive coverage here with Devin Quello, so that's pretty cool. We're going to probably play you two new songs. He was showing me Drowning, which is just pretty good. Drowning, very deep song, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we got a Christmas song coming up, which I thought was just perfect. We've been playing Christmas music all morning. That's called Christmas Night. So, Devin, why don't you start us off? Talk about how you got started. How did you, what made you want to be a pop star, I guess?
Well, ever since I was really little, I've really been interested, I guess, in, just the whole theatric perspective of it, where people, that are pop stars and, just in general, they have so much passion in what they, put into performance art. They have so many different costumes. The stage, it's so elaborative. There's so many different aspects.
Like, if we've known each other for a long time, Devin. I remember the early days, even back when you and me were in Peter Pan, that musical. You've always loved it. You've always loved the theater. This was right up your alley, honestly. When I first saw your name, I think it was in the West Bend Daily News. I wasn't all that surprised even. I was just like, he's going places.
Yeah.
He had that drive, and you're definitely proving it to people. So what have you done so far? What kind of live shows have you done? I mean, I know you've done the West Bend East Talent Show.
I've done a couple of the shows just at the high school in general, but besides that too, I've done a couple in Muskego and Milwaukee and surrounding areas. But as far as it goes with that, with this first album that I had done, Best of Me, that I worked on probably about a year and a half to 2 years now, that's been out, and I've worked on it. I've kind of more or less used that, to really get a feel on where I wanted to go, with my sound, and just kind of really get a good, refined, just image and direction.
So you feel like your sound is definitely changing for the better in the second album?
It's not so much that it has changed, I would say, but I think that it definitely, I know what's my signature sound, and not that I'm going to stick with just being safe with only a specific sound, but what I know that I think I can really, really be inspired by to create a lot, great lyrics and stuff that will really speak to audience and fans who, continue to follow my music.
Oh, I'm really glad to hear that. So how do you feel about do you think your first album was received well? It's called Best of Me, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and the whole thing with the title of that, with me labeling it Best of Me, was because I felt like I owed it to West Bend. I owed it to the town and surrounding areas for everybody who had supported me. And it was just, to kind of give gratitude, and pay respect for everybody who had supported me and followed me with, just starting from, really nothing to building up a fan base to close to over 1,000, and, just expanding with all the other areas too. And so I just wanted to label it that. But as far as it goes, I think it was received well. I think that there's obviously going to be a lot of people who loved it and a lot of people who hate it, but it's expected. And I like the fact that there is people that are going to review it and they're going to give me, positive and negative feedback.
Definitely. I mean, when you're shooting for an audience that's that large, basically the world, I mean, obviously you're going to get a few critics, you just play around with it. I think one of my favorite quotes by you is, when you got haters hating at you, that's exactly what you want. Your name in their mouth, right?
Yeah.
Basically. Well, what kind of age groups are you really catering this music to? Are you just trying to go straight mainstream with this? Like really going with that sound?
Well, it definitely is very mainstream, but in a sense with the second album, I think that the age range that I was targeting originally has, the scale has kind of bumped up a little bit. It's going to be a little bit more mature, and I don't want the music to be explicit, but as far as it goes, I guess with the lyrics and the message, I think it's definitely going to appeal and, it'll be more broad because it'll at least apply to not just maybe teens and young adults, but a little bit older.
You're going for more an adult sound.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put on Drowning pretty quick here, just so people can get a taste of like what you sound like, what you're trying to do. Do you have anything to say about Drowning?
Well, I wrote that song actually towards the end of the summer, and that song for me, this is actually one of the first singles I released off of the sophomore album Zodiac. And when I worked on this song with my producer Tony Schuler at Anton Music Productions, this song is like an ultimate anthem for me. It really it helped me kind of reevaluate things, and I really love it. This was one of my favorite songs so far off of this sophomore album, so I hope everybody likes it also.
Okay, well, let's take a listen to that. This is Drowning by Devin Quello on News Talk AM 1470, West Bend's WBKV.
Trying to knock me down. I'm in the wake. Be my current, come carry me out. I'm drowning out. I'm holding on to what's left of me. Try to stay strong, no longer can compete. I know fall in defeat, but my heart is lost below tears so deep. I'm drowning from everybody within the crowd. It's sink or swim, like waves trying to knock me down. I'm in the wake. Be my current, come carry me out. I'm drowning out. Won't let them see. They're up on top, but I'm underneath. Wish time would stop so I could breathe. Swallow my pride, forget the memory. I'm drowning from everybody within the crowd. It's sink or swim, like waves trying to knock me down. I'm in the wake. Be my current, come carry me out. I'm drowning out. Wish the pain would wash away, but it seems it's here to stay. Only so much I can take. Need someone to be brave, someone to come and rescue me. Be my escape. Oh, I'm drowning from everybody within the crowd. It's sink or swim, but like waves trying to knock me down. I'm in the wake. Be my current, come carry me out. I'm drowning from everybody within the crowd. It's sink or swim, but like waves trying to knock me down. I'm in the wake. Be my current, come carry me out. I'm drowning from everybody within the crowd. It's sink or swim, like waves trying to knock me down. I'm in the wake. Be my current, come carry me out.
There we go. That was Devin Quello's Drowning. Boy, I gotta ask you one question. Do you use autotune?
I do use auto-tune, but I don't use it on a lot of the songs, and the ones that I do use it on, I use it as an effect. I don't use it as a crutch. And I think there's a
perfect.
I think there's a huge difference between that. It's very noticeable when somebody uses it, and it's like your vocal ability is not there. There is no vocal.
Yeah, it's almost like you're using it as an additional instrument.
I use it as an effect because, in a sense, what some people might not understand is that with pop music, especially, is that it really kind of is, traditional or classical music. You're starting it when you're in the, in the studio and you're producing it, whether you're getting the chords down and everything. We work straight off of the piano and come up with the beats, whether we're sitting at a guitar too or in the drums. It's everything we start out with completely organic. It's all natural, but then what you do is you work it in, or you kind of weave it together electronically to create that pop signature sound.
Okay. Well, while we're talking about that, can you tell me a little bit about your writing process? Like, do you write your own beats, or do you start with the lyrics and just write beats around that, or how does that work out?
Well, when I had first started on the first album, actually, Tony from Anton Music, your producer. Yes, my producer. He had originally started to give me beats, and what I would do is go off of those instrumentals, and I would write the lyrics. I've always wrote all of the lyrics 100%, and I've wrote all of the vocal melodies and harmonies and fills, but as it's gone on, even within the first album, I began to, create the chords and work on the piano myself and show him things. So, in a sense, I completely compose all the vocal melodies and, do all of the songwriting. But as far as it goes with the second album especially, I've kind of, in a sense, began to co-produce with him, just with anything that I feel we need to include in just showing him the chords and everything, I guess, in general.
Okay.
I've really got even more of an input on the second album, and it really feels twice as personal.
Okay, so Anton's definitely part of the creative process, then.
Definitely. He really does. He is an awesome producer and technical engineer. The songs they're phenomenal.
Okay. And just to reiterate, interviewing Devin Quello here. My name's Jake Corliss, and you're local, aren't you? You're from West Bend. Were you born in West Bend?
Yes, I was born in West Bend.
You were born in West Bend, born and raised in West Bend, so just sprouting up here. Is this the first time you've ever been on the radio?
This is, I think it's the well, interview-wise, yes, this is the first time, but as it goes, before I had played one other song, I think, with one of the different radio DJs, but I think that was back about almost a year and a half ago, too, but it was very, very quick, but I kind of consider this the first.
Okay. Yeah, I just think it's great supporting that local talent. I mean, you're really trying to get out there. Well, putting your sound on the airwaves here. Talk more about, so you're just coming out with your second album now. Like, how... You said the first one, it was pretty good. You really had you really had good reception from it. You got a lot of fans. You were saying upwards of 1,000, getting those YouTube views on there. Would you say anything like big, phenomenal? What's so big about your second album? That's Zodiac, right? You calling that Zodiac?
Well, just to give people a little bit of insight on it, I'm very inspired, and I study astrology. And I'm really kind of intrigued by it. I think it's really interesting how there is all of the, the 12 signs and how they pertain to, so many different people. And to be honest, with the album, this one's going to include 11 tracks. I'm debating between 11 and 12. And the reason being is because there are 12 signs. I kind of would like to have 12. But then thinking, in other words, too, that the 11 could stand for all the other signs, and then the 12th, or the album, and standing for my sign, Leo itself. And so I'm kind of just figuring out if I want to incorporate my sign as a track or have the album,
Yeah, so are you, like, writing your music on this new album around the idea of the Zodiac?
Yeah, I am. And to be completely honest, I don't want to force it, but it's kind of nice because this creative flow has come with is that actually each of the signs, generally, it's almost like my individual experience with, relationships with each of the signs, just like how I get along with them, the experiences that I've come across with all of them. I just kind of keep it in mind, and it doesn't necessarily mean anyone specific for all of them, but generally too, I know that certain songs pertain to, I guess, like the relationships or friendships that I've had with these signs.
What is your zodiac sign?
I'm a Leo.
you're a Leo, eh?
And you're a Virgo?
I am a Virgo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that means I always thought Virgo directly corresponded with Virgin, but whatever. I'm not going to get too far into that.
Well,
But Leo the Lion, I mean,
Yes.
that's awesome. My middle name's
I'm the king
Leon,
of
so
the
yeah, I
jungle.
can feel that. So when you're in the, have you already recorded Zodiac? Is it just being pieced together now? Is it about finished?
Well, all of the tracks besides that last one that I'm kind
Okay,
of
so
dwindling on, they are all completely wrote out. And basically right now what we're doing is we're going into the studio over, amounts of time, just trying to make sure that we can focus on each track individually to make sure that it's got the right sound to it and that they're not identical, because if you try to crush time and compact it, that's when the creativity and the originality in each track is lost.
yeah.
And so we're just taking our time, and each one is done because I've had time to separately write them all. But at the same time, the flow is really well, and it's worked well, and all these songs have come out a lot quicker, actually, than any of off the first album. And so, I'm really excited and looking forward to this, because each track on this, though, once it is finished, it really tells a story. I don't. This album, it's gonna be great. It really is. I'm very excited, and
Sure.
I just really can't stress it enough. Like I'm really excited to show this and share it with everybody to hear.
Oh yeah, I bet the world is definitely ready for this. How long's it been since you came out with your first album? It's about a year and a half now,
Yeah, it's
isn't
been
it?
about a year and a half.
So you've had a good bit of time to work on these new songs. Definitely make something of them. I don't suppose you have anything for a release date on this upcoming album.
No, there's not a release date on it yet, but I can definitely guarantee that soon there will be more singles that will be released. If people, check in on my Facebook, my fan page,
Get on iTunes,
and,
all that.
iTunes, all of that, and there will definitely be more music videos that we will include also along with each track. We didn't do that so much for the first album, besides one for Summer Love, but for this one there will be a lot of music videos included.
Okay, yeah. I think I saw a little bit. It was a couple months ago, so you might need to refresh my memory a little bit. But I did see your first music video. Who's that shot by?
It's shot by Hannah Christensen,
Okay.
and she's actually a really good childhood friend also. And we had talked. I had actually contacted her, and I said, it'd be really great. I said, I heard that you are into filming, and you're a videographer. And I said, would you be interested in collaborating with me, and creating a music video for one of the songs? And she said, sure. And I said, well, I have a couple in mind. I said, but I have one in specific that I really kind of have wanted to do a music video for a while now.
And that's a Young Love song, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Summer Love. And I actually wrote that song over the summer. That was wrote 2 years ago. But then the song after I had wrote it. So the music video kind of came a little bit afterward. But still, I had the idea fresh in mind. And I think it was kind of good too. It allowed me to kind of let it sink in and really get a good visual idea for what I wanted to, portray throughout the video. And so we shot everything locally too at Port Washington by the beach. The
Yeah, I
lighthouse.
definitely recognize Port Washington.
But it was great though. It was awesome experience, and it takes. I'm glad that they were as dedicated as I was too, because Emma Ponath also, she kind of video shot some of it also, and we kind of had a little team together. And then one of the girls that was on the first album that featured on a track called Changing Times, Chelsea, she was the love interest, or played the love interest in this song.
That's cute.
And so it was a good time though. It was good because it was comfortable. We had known each other long enough, all of us, so we were able to make it was natural.
Make it believable.
It was believable. And it was a great time though. And getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning during summer.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, it was a good time. Drink some coffee and head out there, and then you have the sunset was so cool. I remember taking there was a lot of great footage from all the sunsets. That was probably one of my favorite parts about going out there that early in the morning.
So you're just following your dream, going out there, having a blast every time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to tell me about your recording process. I was working with Anton. What's his full name?
Well, his name's Mark Anton Schuler, but everybody calls him Tony.
Okay.
And with me and him, we just abbreviate it. He calls me T, or he calls me D, and I'm like, hey T. That's just all the time what we do, because we talk all the time. That's all you gotta do is one letter. But with me and him, we really think a lot alike. We really have, the same mind. It's very, very, very easy to communicate with each other, and I think that's great because it doesn't really ever feel forced trying to explain or just, show him a musical idea or concept or vice versa, because we just get it. And so it's
Just kind
really
of clicks.
yeah, and it's really just cool because it's almost like, in a sense, he's become like family, like an older brother figure, especially with him. Also, he is kind of, in essence in the same boat, but as a producer, he was an artist for a really long time too, and he actually around the U.S. had traveled and did a lot of gigs and stuff. He's more of like an alternative type acoustic artist, but with me and him working together, working on pop, he's grown a lot and kind of learned. And
didn't you tell me earlier that he had never really worked with a pop artist before?
Yeah.
You were kind of a new project for him?
I really was like the first pop artist he had ever worked with, and just essence working on the songs too. So it was really cool. It was a growing experience, and me and him have really got good at our craft now. Because for me, I've always, wrote lyrics and more of poetry, I guess you could say. And
Okay.
I've come up with melodies, but now I really know how to write a great hook. I really know how to write killer lyrics, and with him too, he knows how to compose a great instrumental that is really just going to have the right punch.
Good. It's a learning process for both of you. I mean, what can we say other than we can expect Zodiac to be, I don't want to say much better because your first album was good, but just definite improvement, definite signs of growth are going to be shown.
Yeah, well, you will definitely can hear there is a huge evolution of sound between the two, and it's not necessarily just in quality. It's just that we know exactly what we are doing on this album as far as it goes as conveying a message, and it has a theme, and the first one did not necessarily have a theme. And I think that's exactly
it was just the
missing
first one was
piece of
like
the
your
puzzle.
dream coming together, you kind of formulating it into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the great
Okay.
part of every first album, I think. Whether you're signed or unsigned, it's just the general process of seeing somebody work really hard and creating their first material.
Okay, yeah. Well, we got another song we're going to listen to by a Christmas song. I've been playing Christmas music all morning, actually, so I thought this was very appropriate. Christmas Night, right?
It's Christmas night, and this is my second Christmas song that I've actually created, and both of them are original. I have Christmas Wish from about 2 years ago, and this one actually was just finished up over this weekend. We finished it last night.
Okay,
Tony
so
and
this
I.
is brand spanking
This is
new.
brand new, and this is a surprise for the holidays, so it's kind of a present from me to everyone listening.
You to the airwaves, awesome.
But yeah, it's Christmas night. I really like it. I think this is a great holiday song.
All right, this is Christmas Night by Devin Quello. We've been listening to News Talk, AM 1470, West Bend's WBKV. Enjoy.
I wanna be with you, watching the falling snow, with my arms around you close. Christmas night, I wanna be with you, making the season right. Babe, just you and I. Christmas night, Christmas night, on Christmas night. It's Christmas night, I only wanna be with you, wanna be together, be with you forever. On Christmas night, Christmas night, I only wanna be with you, wanna be together, be with you forever. On Christmas night, do you wanna be with me, watching the fire grow under the mistletoe? Christmas night, do you wanna be with me, making the season bright, the lips locked with mine? Christmas night, Christmas night, on Christmas night. This Christmas night, I only wanna be with you, wanna be together, be with you forever. You're the only one I need to make this night the best. Christmas night, I only wanna be with you. Wanna be together, be with you forever. On Christmas night, Christmas night, I only wanna be with you. Wanna be together, be with you forever. On Christmas night, Christmas night, I only wanna be with you. Wanna be together, be with you forever. On Christmas night.
Not the same old bland blah 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 you hear on a lot of the other stations. News Talk 1470, West Bend's WBKV.
Well, we're back. Just to reiterate, I'm Jake Corliss, and I'm here with Devin Quello, who is promoting his new album, Zodiac. Just before the break, we heard his new Christmas song, Christmas Night, and that was interesting. Anything to comment on that? Like, I'm happy. Like, I was talking to you, like, during the break.
Yeah.
I was just airing Blake Shelton earlier, and he was playing just all of these, Blue Christmas, I Will Be Home for Christmas. I'm happy you at least wrote something original.
Well, and that's the thing is that, I mean, I have respect for a lot of these signed artists that are, mainstream country or pop that are playing, old classics. But the thing is, though, I don't find it interesting or original to keep, singing the same stuff. I think that's one of the biggest issues in the music
especially
industry.
when you're still trying to take off here.
Yeah, well,
get out of West Bend and hit the world
from the beginning. But it's like, I think that's one of the biggest problems in the music industry today, whether it's pop or any genre, is that people lack creativity or motivation to try to innovate. I don't want to continue to repeat what everybody else has done.
Yeah, there
whether
you go.
it's a Christmas song for the holidays coming up, or if it's complete, just a complete album for pop music or whatever else I, choose to want to write to. I don't want to cover people's music all the time. I enjoy it once in a while, but I have stuff to say too. I want to write lyrics that, and get my message across that people can relate.
I think actively thinking about that is really going to do wonders for your career. You got all these people that are trying to emulate, their favorite artists, trying to be just like, the big boys, be just like Kanye West, be just like Lady Gaga, be just like Miley Cyrus, dare I say it. I'm so glad you can establish your own sound here.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about it. How about your future? Are you thinking of, I know you mentioned Chelsea. You Chelsea Segura, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You said she was in your music video, and you had one song off of your original album.
Yeah, we did Changing Times together on the first one.
Well, what do you think your future for collaborations are? Are there any other local talents that just need, just?
I mean, I had Chelsea Segura and collaborate with me on Changing Times on the first album. That was it was a pop song, but it explored R&B stylistically. It kind of had some of the qualities in the signature sound included or infused. But I don't really know that me and her will do a future song together on this album. It just doesn't, I don't know if it would be in the cards as far as it goes.
Yeah, okay.
And I've also had other people collaborate with me too. I had Corey rap on a track, and I had my friend Steven also feature on a track called Sunlight. And as far as that goes too, I don't know necessarily on this album if I'm going to, really have a lot of features on it, because to me, I really have a lot to say in this one, and it really is personal. And I've talked with two people from actually Muskego that I had worked with over the summer on some other pop shows that we did together. He was also an artist, Ben Murphy, and him and his sister both have phenomenal voices. And so I was considering doing, one track with them that potentially we were, deciding whether we wanted to do a ballad or if we wanted to do something really mainstream with tons of harmony and just like a powerful anthem.
Is that something in store with the future? Are we to expect something like that?
I'm considering whether I want to include it or if I just want to have it as a single.
Okay.
Because I don't know right now at this point. I don't really necessarily think that it's gonna fit or be efficient with this second album. I don't know that it really works.
Okay, yeah, like you said, your second album's very personal. It's like,
and I want to keep the theme. I want it to be very, very specific and pack a punch.
Okay, well, let's talk more about your long-term goals. Like, where do you expect to be in 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years? Do you think 20 years down the road, Devin Quello is going to be a household name? Coming straight out of West Bend, Wisconsin. Do you
know
have
what?
gigantic dreams?
I would love to be playing. I would like to start out. I'd love to be performing at the rave. I'd love to be performing, one day at Bradley Center. I'd love to be performing down the road at Madison Square Garden. And those are all huge. Those are all huge dreams. I am a very, very, very big studier of pop culture and pop artists and music in general. And so I've worked it at my craft for a really long time. I have a great idea and a sense of what to deliver, what people expect, and I really am motivated and determined, and I really know that I can pursue this all the way, and I'm going to, regardless what anybody thinks, because I don't care what anybody thinks. I've been told.
Well, good for you, man. That's what you got to do. That's how you got to think. When you're throwing yourself out there like that, you can't take crap from nobody.
No. And, but I know also, I'm not blind. I know I'm going to need to expand. I'm going to need to move, and I'm going to need to travel around. I'm not going to be stuck in West Bend forever, because I need to get this out, and I need to do performances and expand, my music and get it even larger audience following.
Yep.
But I'm excited. It's all part of the journey of it, and I think that as an artist, it makes you, learn a lot. It makes your craft twice as good. Your lyrics become better. Your experience is better. It makes you the ultimate, performer, singer, songwriter, musician, just as an icon.
Wow. Truly inspirational. Well, we're running out of time here, but you know what? It's been a good interview.
Yes.
We got one last song for everybody. With the Zone. This is
Zone. This is the second track I wrote off of the sophomore album, and this one's it's inspired by this summer. Anything, it's just that feeling you get. It's that beat
that
in your heart
feeling,
when you're at Summerfest. When you're, at anything, when you're at the fair, when you're out at the beach, anything with a group of friends, anybody that you're having a special time with, that is what Zone is.
All right, well, I'm going to leave you guys with this song, Zone by Devin Quello, and after this, me and Devin are going to take off and try to brave those roads. Let's hope we still have a future after today. It's been a good interview.
Yes,
You've been listening to News Talk, AM 1470, West Bend's WBKV. This is Zone.
It feels right. It feels good. And it's our life. Let's make tonight our own. Tonight we're in our zone. All we want is to celebrate tonight. Till we see stars in our eyes. To light it up and come alive. We only want a little time. Making most of summer nights. Talk about that summer life. And it feels right. It feels good. And it's our life. Let's make tonight our own. Tonight we're in our zone. We're stepping out for a night on the town. Living fast and on the prowl. We only rise, we never fall. Just live it up, don't let it down. Kings and queens, we wear the crown. Everybody shut it down. And it feels right. It feels good. And it's our life. Let's make tonight our own. Tonight we're in our zone. Cut to the chase, no time to waste. Pop that speakers, bring the bass. No control, I can't be tamed. I'm in the zone, let's go insane. time to get it in. And it feels right, it feels good, and it's our life. Let's make tonight our own. And it feels right, it feels good, and it's our life. Let's make tonight our own. And it feels right, it feels good, and it's our life. Let's make tonight our own. Tonight we're in our zone.